that's fine. Yeah. So this is, the thing is recording right now. And anyway, the presentation outline first, I just provide a general introductions. Then we will look at the technology trend. And basically, in this presentation, I'm going to look at the overall picture as far as the opportunity and challenges are. Very briefly, I spend a little bit more time related to AI and renewable energy. We will have one more lecture related to each of those areas. And then in the end, in order to have some conclusion as far as this section is concerned, I will talk about the STEM jobs and the graduations and what we confront with the issues in the national level and how we can overcome the issues. Can everybody hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So before I talk about the opportunity and challenges, let's just look at the major issues that we have. And the number one issue, of course, is the population growth. If you look at the chart in the left and the right, you will see the historical perspective of the population growth. And if you look at those numbers and the graphs, you will see the exponential part of increasing of the population is based on after the industrial revolutions. It is in the left-hand side. If you look at the right-hand side, there are two graphs. One is for the developed country. The other one is for the country that has not been developed yet. As you can see, the people, the population in the US, Japan, and Europe is the yellow line, which the slope is very much small compared to exponential term for the developing countries. So these are create major issues globally, which consist in general of four different factors or needs: food and water, shelters, energy, and health and sanitations. I am not going to go to any of those except maybe the energy very briefly, but we will come back and talk about some of the issue in maybe in the later time as far as this series are concerned. If you look at the developed country in global factor, you will see the places that you see the lights. That's the place that you will see the developed country. And you will see in South America or Africa or other part of the world that really those country has not been developed. Just one more perspective, and then I will get into the challenges. If you look at the recent UN report, you will see that by 2050, by the report that UN provide, you will have huge amount of different material, fossils, fuels, and so on, and biomass that you are going to use 4 times that what you are doing today. So the resources are limited, and the question is how we will overcome the issue with the population growth that we have. If we look at the invention of the centuries, I think this is the graph that I tried to get an update of this graph. It was from New York Times, but this will give you an idea how the development and inventions happen during the last centuries. If you pay attention to some of these graphs, I'm just going to start with the one completely in the left, which is the telephone and the cars, auto. And you will see it went to number of the cycles until you reach the saturations. And for example, you will see in 1930, due to the depressions, the number of cars that the people buy is decreased and so on. but you will see the expansion of the inventions up to today, which probably near 97 or 98%. At the same time, if you look at the right-hand side and look at the internet and the cell phone, please remember this graph is not up to date 2025. You will see that everybody right now own the cell phone or have access to the internet in US. What that means, it means the short durations of the invention, what is happening the last 20 or 30 years compared to 100 years when the telephone or the car have been came to the market and developed. So, which take me back to what I want to talk about today. NSF did two major NSF and National Academy of Engineering did two major research related to the future technology and the big ideas. And they came 2016 and 2022 with the number of big ideas and innovations. And the way they came about these ideas, they went and did a survey, asked all the scientists around the United States, as well as the world, what are the big idea that they need to do research, or what they see the trend in the future. And basically, after they get the survey, they had number of discussion and they came with the topic. If you have a chance, if you just go to the NSF website, you will see all of those 10 ideas. I'm not going to go to all of those. I'm just going to mention a few of those. Also, if you have a chance and look at the national trend in the research from the National Academy of Engineering, you will see the 14 grand challenges. Some of these challenges also is part of NSF, so you will see this 14 that is there. What I'm going to do tonight, I am just going to spend time and talk about few of those. If there are more interest, I will be more than happy to discuss some of other interests that everybody has. But what I would like to do, I would like to look at the number of topics that we can discuss in the future presentations. If you have any questions or if you want to interrupt me, please, by any means. Otherwise, we try to finish it by 6:30 so we have time for discussions. Let's say move to the next one. Okay, so here are a few items. I'm just going to go to it. Let's see. This is the first graph which National Science Foundation just put as informations. And if you look at the horizontal and vertical axis, in the horizontal you have time, and the vertical part you will looking at the invention and what is happening. So what you have is three different waves. The first waves was around 1800, which was industrial revolutions. The second waves, probably we can say a starting time was around 2000, 2005, which was internet revolutions. And the third waves is, which is the current waves that we have, and that is industrial internet. This is what we are at the current rate and the expectations, what is going to happen in the future. To just give you a background where we came from the from 1980s to today's, just let's say look at a very short historical perspective. If we look at the the first computers that came in 1944 by John Newmans, invented the computer and then created the IBM. It was a common work between UCLA and a number of other companies that they create and design a first computer using tubes. You will see it is less than 80 years, and you see how far we came from that time. To just give you another perspective, the invention of IBM PC, which happened in Boca when they have in 1985, 1986, with more than 10,000 at Boca headquarters, was done by Philip Estridge, which was the founder of PC, basically Revolutions. Just put the material together to the open architectures, and that what we are today is result of his invention 35 years ago. Unfortunately, he died to a airplane crash when he was flying from Texas to Florida. So what's happened after such revolutions? I think the key of what I want to talk about here, as far as the computer, is the Moore's IT law. And this take half a century and has been true for the last 50 years. And the idea is that if you look at the number of transistors in the chips, every year we were able to double the number of transistors in the same space that we had. As you can see, this is a tremendous surprise as well as development from 1960s, which we start with 2 transistors in the chips, and and by the way, originally by Fairchild company, and just now the Moore's law is still applied. And by the way, Gordon Moore was the co-director and CEO of Intel, and through the idea that he had, is basically we were able to have all the progress that we have today through his inventions and what he predicted half a century ago, and today is valid. But not anymore. We are decrease the size of the transistor in such a small numbers, which the binary 0 and 1, the state of 0 and 1 doesn't hold anymore. And this was one of the big idea that NSF look at it, that moved to the quantum computings. Right now, quantum computing still is in the preliminary stage. There are big players as far as quantum computing is concerned, including IBM, Google, Amazon, and the IBM is the lead in these areas. But also the second one, which you see in the left, is a cybersecurity. I think these are the 2 major ideas that during the 2015, 2016 materialized, and today's we will see the progress that we have. Still, we are not, we have a long way to go for both of this area. In cybersecurity, everybody knows this is the area that really need a lot of research and work. Quantum computing still is not commercialized, and I think we will have a number of years before we get into the next stage. The other thing that, again, a big idea as far as the National Science Foundation is concerned is the data science, data analytics, that's data mining. These are the area that is a lot of research has been done, and a lot of research need to be done in the next 10, 15 years to see where we head from there. This is the area that everybody is talking about, and it's cross sections of engineering, science, and business, as well as you can look at the education also. So these are areas that If some people are interested in it, I will be more than happy to collaborate and work and just develop some type of proposal in this area. Let's say, since we don't have more than 15, 16 minutes, I'm just going to mention a few more items. One is one of the key points that what the big idea that the NSF had was the future work, the relation between the human and technology. And these are the key as far as how the future is going to be. Now, this is the relation between the machine and the human. You can look at the artificial intelligence, you look at the augmented reality, and you look at some other type of learning. Again, these are part of what they look at the big idea and how the relation between the human technology is going to be. Example of it, of course, is something that everybody is talking about today, and that is artificial intelligence. I'm going to spend, we don't have time that I go to AI, but I'm just going to give you a few perspective of what is the artificial intelligence is from the basic viewpoint and the comparison. These graphs and tables compare the items between the computer and the brain. And I just categorize it in three different parts: complexity, processing, and the computational power. As you can see, computer is definitely is going to win when it's come to the operation. More than 10 million per second, when as a human, you only can do like 100 operation per second. The structures are different. For example, in the computer, you will have the transistor, which you end up to have microprocessors, and it is the serial processing. When in the brain neural network concept, you will have 10,000 neurons compared to other neurons, which, as you know, the brain consists of 10 billion neurons, and each 10,000 neurons connected to each other. But the computational power is something, and the interface is something that the brain is able to do much better than the computer. So that's, you have some strengths in the computer, but also you have a lot of strengths as far as how the brain structure is, which take us to the next part, and what is the artificial intelligence. You can define AI in different way. Everybody think that ChatGPT is AI. ChatGPT is very small portions of what you can define as AI. Basically, you can look at many technology and many different tasks that you can look at AI as how the future technology is going to be. The basic part of this technology is based on a structure of how human brain function, which is artificial neural network. There were a number of research was done from 1980s, basically a long time ago in Cornell, but the recent advances in neural net start 1980s, and there are major contributions, including Kohanon self-organizations, it was the backpropagations, and Hopfield, as well as Boltzmann machine. Basically, Hopfield, the last two, Hopfield and Boltzmann, they won 2024 Nobel Prize because of the contribution that they did related to the neural net, which is the basic of what we are talking about, the artificial intelligence today. Hopfield create what is called a Hopfield network, which is a relation between the machine as well as how the neuron functions. Boltzmann, which is basically done by, I forgot the name, by Hinton, Gregory Hinton. He was the major contribution as far as the Boltzmann machine was concerned, which recognized the character through the teaching of those characters, and which is the basic of what you have something like ChatGPT. But very briefly, without going to technical detail of this, in the artificial neural network, you have the input and you have the output, and you have the hidden layers, which you have what we call activation function, which is nonlinear. And the mapping between the input and the output, when it's done, then you end up to learn the way a human learn. In other words, if you think about yourself and how the baby learn is through trial and error in many cases. And this concept of training, learning, and then recall phase is something that we do in the neural net. And as the result, the artificial intelligence. If we look at the so let's say just make two more slides, and then I conclude this part. The intelligence system is somehow is a cross section of the artificial neural net, the fuzzy set and fuzzy theory, which is decision making the way human does, and the evolutionary computations, which through generations, basically evolutions happen, and the scientists and engineering, they use this tree in order to come up with different techniques and today's technology. I'm not going to go to the list of the AI technology, but here is one small list that you can look at those. For those of you that you are interested in these areas, I suggest these three videos. A very high end, you will get the historical perspective, as well as the second one is interesting, artificial intelligence, mankind last inventions. It is a well made videos. By the way, before I get into the next topic, I should mention in the higher education community, we had a lot of discussion and that how we will confront the AI. And there is an excellent report by the Department of Energy, and I'm sorry, Department of Education, that came just 2 months ago, and really address that is around 75 pages, and is address the different 5 components of AI, and how as a higher education we should approach the issues, how we deal with the students, as well as for administrators, and different aspect of how we're looking at the higher education. Very, very interesting document as far as the AI is concerned. I will be more than happy to send if anybody needed it. The other part that I mentioned very briefly was augmented reality technology, and this is the area that you can also is very interesting for education. The biggest or the largest company is Magic Leaps. They are located in plantations. But they had a number of issues related to technology. But this is something that we will look at for the next 10 years also, and something that I think is going to be a great research areas that we can look. Since I have like 5 more minutes, but I have a lot of slides, I'm just going to go skip a number of those. One of other topic, both NSF as well as the National Academy of Engineering, mentioned the advanced health informatics and bioengineering. Again, these are an area of research which is cross sections between engineering, science, and the medicine. And I think this is a topic by itself that we can discuss. Let's say just move to the next part, which is a very interesting part, which is ocean resources. The ocean resources can be used for a number of different um, major innovation and technology. Drinking water, energy, and the drug discovery. Drug discovery is something that in the last 10 years, we move into that areas through AI. We were able to have the component that we never could have before. Let's say just mention very briefly as far as the drinking water is concerned. As you know, the water consumption is increasing every year. And if give you a perspective, you have around 800,000 people that still they don't have access to some type of drinking water, mainly in Africa and part of Asia. So this is a major problems. The technology in this area, especially reverse osmosis technology, and what it can be done is the lead part. There are a lot of research was done, and a lot of research need to be done in this area, especially with the minor sensor inside the desalinations and how you shut down the plant. These are the major part of the technology that still is going on in this area. Um, let's say move to very briefly to energy, and hopefully I try to finish it maybe in 5 minutes. The energy consumption during the last 200 years. This is a very interesting graph. If you look at this graph, look at the global energy consumption from 1800, you will see the bio fuel or wood is a flat. And again, still this is flat. But if you look at the three major fossil fuel, you are looking at the natural gas, coal, and of course petroleum as the lead energy that we are using today. We used 20 years ago, and still we are using those. However, the renewable energy that it come on board, and we expect this is going to increase. What are those renewable energy? There are a number of those, but this next picture should give you an idea where we are. If you look at the amount of the solar energy that is available um, in universe, if you look at all the circles that look at all other type of energy, it goes inside the sun or the solar. Of course, it doesn't mean that we can utilize all of it, because the price of the solar still is high. But the expectation for the next 20 years or 25 years until 2050 is the solar is going to major player in this game. If you look at the two graphs, one, the bar on the top, you will see how the expense is decreased from 2002 to 2020. The bottom one is the price of photovoltaic is really decreased. As you can see, exponentially, indeed, is decreased. In the left here, you will see one solar plant. I think this is from the Spain or California, one of those places. But again, you will see that this is a major, is going to be a major player. Solar, we expect by 2050, solar is going to take over the wind turbine, which is basically the dominant energy today in a number of different places. And expectation is the solar indeed will take over in that regard. Let's just finish with one more technology that I think is crucial to mention before as one of the big ideas, and that is related to the transportations. The transportations is everybody drive a car, And the question is, how is the future of the car is going to be? Um, During the 20 to 2010, the Department of Energy thought that the fuel cell technology is going to be the technology that take over. It did not happen, and I think the trend today is related to the electrical car, especially we are looking at the battery technology. So it depends how much we can have invention in battery technology and create the better batteries with high density. It will tell us how much progress we will have in that regard. So right now we are using lithium ion rechargeable batteries. This is what most of the electrical car, including Tesla, they are using. But the expectation is we need to have new inventions, and sodium ion batteries is appear to be one of those leading technology for the future. Just the last note as far as the battery technology is concerned is the charging and the discharging. And the question is, instead of the gas pump, you are going to have the battery charging stations. And the question is how you will do those charging station. I don't want to go to theoretical work. There are a number of work, especially related to how we put the price as far as those battery charge are concerned. For example, if you charge in half an hour, you charge in 10 minutes, or you charge in 1 hour, the price could be different. And how we set the price, again, the researcher, they did a number of work, including the game theory and some other techniques, optimizations, and LQG and so on. So these are infrastructure of what we expect in the near future. I'm going to finish in 2 minutes, so I would like have a discussion as far as technology is concerned, and then we will discuss different issues. I'm just going to finalize or summarize it with the following to a slide. The question is, as far as the STEM job projection for the next 10 years is concerned, as you can see, the yellow one is a STEM job that will be available until 2031 compared to other jobs. So you are looking at the growth of at least 10%. And the number one areas that you are looking at, as we discussed, the AI and the quantum computing and so on, are going to be the lead related to this, including what you need as far as the medical facilities are concerned. So these are the major number of the jobs that we expect we will have the projections. So what is the issues? I think this slide should give you an idea what, although this slide is old, I updated, but in general, if you start the student that they are interested in a STEM program with 12 years, only you will get very small number from 4 million. The number that will graduate, you are looking at around 167. So these are the number. I believe these are the issues that we are facing, and that is the number of students that they graduate from STEM, or the student that they are interested in STEM is really shrinking. And although there are a number of work was done and we made a lot of encouragement for the students, but still this number is very small. I'm just going to finish my presentations with just one video that maybe some of you already saw, but I will see if I can copy and show it here. and then if we are more than happy to answer any question or if we have any discussion. These videos, maybe some of you already saw the videos, but let's see if I can play these videos. Okay, I'm going to share let's see if I share the screen. I'm going to get rid of, let's see. Um, I try to share the screen. It doesn't work. It's okay. It's just,
We see it on your screen now.
did you see? Oh yeah, that's what it is. Let's say just play. Can you see it right now?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to play this, and then we can have a discussions. As far as I don't know if you can hear it.
No, we do not hear the audio. You might have to check your audio settings.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Can you hear?
No, you might have to go into your audio settings for Teams.
Okay. But anyway, if even if you don't hear it, then just let's watch the videos, and then we can have discussions.
Maybe, Dr. Zluchin, you can place the URL in the chat and folks could play it with audio later.
Okay. Let's say.
In the chat, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to, if we open the discussions as far as anything that you just want to discuss or any opinion, then we go from there. Um, uh, so, anybody want to jump in?
I guess I'll start. If I can't see if I'm the only one that has my hand raised, I apologize if I'm jumping the line. Thank you for the presentation, Dr. Zluchin. Things change so quickly
Yes.
these days. I have an observation of, this is going to sound like I'm stereotyping, and I may be, I apologize if I am. A lot of our folks in Gen Z, I think, feel caught in the middle of a dilemma when we look at advances in technology, and in particular AI, and their concern about the environmental impact of companies and their data centers and their use of energy and water in particular to sustain those technologies, as well as their fears about the impact of AI and related technologies on human endeavors.
Yep.
The level of cognition that people will be using in the future, for example, or where the art's going to go. They're caught between their concerns about those, the negative things, versus the power of efficiency and benefit to humankind. Is that something that we've seen? I have my own observations about this, but I'm curious about your observations. Have we seen this before in other technologies? And what do you think the right solution is for us to move forward?
Thank you for asking the question. I guess I'm going to express my opinion. It doesn't mean necessarily it's correct, but if we look at the technology for the last 200 years, we had such observations for the, from the time that the Industrial Revolution happened until today. I'm just going to give an example of first when I become a faculty, and those days we developed the robotic, and we thought in the long term the robot will take over human. And we had a lot of discussions that, of course, the manufacturing, they get out of most of the places that the human is work. But still, we move from manufacturing to the service part. But coming back to the AI, of course, there are a lot of discussions that the issues of the AI, both from positive and the negative viewpoint. We wrote something related to the development of AI in Florida. And one of the reviewers, when they look at our paper, they said, well, you talk about all the benefit. Tell us about the issues that we are facing with artificial intelligence. And again, these are real because especially related to the ethical issues. Again, we are facing some uncharted territory, to be honest with you. If we, again, the DOE, the Department of Education report, especially for higher education, in some aspect for me was some type of eye-opening because even right now, myself, I am struggling when I'm teaching a course, and I am not sure a student that they are, I'm grading them. Is it I am grading something from machine or I'm grading something from the human brain? And the question is how I am going to address these issues. So at some point I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask them for both. I'm going to ask a student to please write one report yourself but also I want you to write a report to ChatGPT, and then I'm going to look at both and I give you grade. So so again, it's something which is, in my opinion, we are going to struggle with this for a long time to come because of the nature of the data technologies. And there is no question as far as the ethical issues that we are going to face with uh, our generation, but also mainly the future generations. Is probably I will have a discussion as far as the AI is concerned, maybe sometimes on July or August, and spend more time discuss in depth, as well as both from technology viewpoint as well as the effect for the society and what we expect out of it is a really challenging issues. You just put your point on, on the right. You're absolutely correct. How we are, but I don't have any answer for it. To be honest with you, I would like everybody else, if it's jump in and just provide some other input also, that will be great. So we know what everybody think related to this issue and how you address, especially if you look at from education viewpoint. Again, forget about the technology, forget about AI, that what we have in the stock market, even from our perspective in educations, how we address some of the challenges that we have for the last 2-3 years or last year. So it will be interesting. Anybody else want to jump in? Or Jenny, if you want to continue and express your opinion in that regard. Yeah.
Sure. I think about, in many ways, this issue with AI is similar to the debate some of us still have when we're teaching math about students using calculators. And I think it's a similar concern on one level. On another level, it's much deeper and different. As educators, of course, the issue for us is what is the level of critical thinking and thought and reflectivity that society uses when they're implementing these tools. And I guess we as educators need to hold the line and share with our students, who perhaps can advocate more broadly in society, why they should continue to use these tools with intentionality and critical thinking and reflection for the sake of humanity. I know there are studies. Just today, I heard a keynote by someone speaking about how research does show the level of engagement that people have when they're using LLMs and other technologies does go down. Cognitive engagement. I mean, so we've got to protect us from ourselves, I guess, in that regard.
Absolutely. Especially what you mentioned as far as the critical thinking part and reflection is concerned. I think the number one aspect as educators, we need to make sure that the student, they have the component of the critical thinking and reflections, and use AI as a tools. There is no major issues. But if you replace that type of critical thinking with some type of AI or ChatGPT or whatever, that's the number one issues that we will face, and how you address those issues. I guess that's what I reflect. As educator, we need to make sure that the student, they understand is not the AI which is in control, is the students, and we as a society should be in control of what we are doing.
Right. The unintended consequences is so important now, I think, more than ever. Even with battery technology, which you did mention as well, it's great to have a battery, but we need to think about the storage, the recycling, the sustainability, all those things. And it's good for us to remind our students that bigger picture, not just the thing.
Yeah. And again, if one of the, of course, the issues in general, coming back to energy, what you mentioned, is the major three fossil fuels that we are using. And I didn't have time to talk about the environmental issues and global warming and so on, which is real. I mean, this is not fictitious. This is real science. If we look at the data for the last 200 years, is real. And the question is what this fossil fuel in general consists of petroleum, coal, especially, and it does to the global warming and in general of the place that we are living. And this is indeed is a very challenging issues because if we look at the numbers, the people that the companies like Exxon, all those big petroleum companies are the companies that they get all subsidies because they develop, say, solar and the wind, not because they want to develop it, because they want to get the money from it. So it's end up, if you look at the numbers and how tax breaks are, is not the small corporations that develop these renewable energies. It's the big corporations that basically they are in the business of fossil fuel. And they, in order to get much more benefit, they end up developing some of those technology also. To just give you an example, the biggest wind turbine in the whole United States is FPL. So use the natural gas, but they have in Texas and Arizona. So yeah, it is an issues, and we need to be concerned, and we need to educate our students that they look at the other perspective of what is not only technology development. Technology development is something that, but AI is a new territory, which I think we will have tough time for many years to come that have overcome because the nature of what is going to go on for many years to come. So again, I don't have no answer for it, and it's going to be very tough because all the government, industry, everything is involved in this type of entities and how this thing is going to end up. So, anybody else?
Hi, this is Dr.
Hi.
Walker Rivera. Hi. I just wanted to go back to AI for a second and comment on the discussion that was taking place about critical thinking and students with AI. Last semester, I taught social psychology, and one of the assignments my students did was there's a avatar, or there's a AI replica where you can create a person. So my students did that for a week and interacted with this avatar for a week, and then reported back, wrote a paper regarding their interaction, the pros, the cons, and since it was social psychology, how it would affect community, how it would affect various age ranges and things. And it really was enlightening to read their papers regarding how they felt that, there were some benefits, but most of the things they took away was, it's great to help older people if they're lonely. However, so a lot of their responses were really kind of back to the human emotion and the human contact and that sort of thing, which I was a little surprised about. But they it was a great assignment. They really enjoyed it, and they really did use a lot of critical thinking in that. So it's kind of what I'm trying to do to integrate and weave in AI type things into my assignments when I can.
Very interesting point. Just 2 weeks ago, New York Times had an article and also audio app of, and it was about. I didn't want to go to this, but since you mentioned, as far as the effect of the human was a female person that she was married with, but her husband was far away, decided to have conversation with ChatGPT, and is end up to have the boyfriend as ChatGPT. I'm not going to go to detail of this, but if you have a chance, just read that article, and it's like half an hour, and is eye opener as how the human reactions and interactions, and sometimes even the damages using those type of tools create for the human. Since you mentioned in your, as far as the assignment is concerned, if you have a chance, just look at that article. It's very interesting. We don't have time to, and I can send you the link if you desire, but it was very interesting, a story about the issues.
Thank you. Yeah, I would appreciate that. One of the main points that seemed that most of my students pointed out was that when this AI replica got to know you, all of their responses were geared off of what you were saying. So everything that you said, like they were on your side the whole time. Whatever you wanted, they were, to support you. And it was just really interesting because, my students were pointing out, like in the real world, it's not always what you want, and it's not always in agreement, and it's not always, the beautiful thing that you're getting. And that was one of the things that they were saying. It's, it can, be what you want it to be, but it's so not natural, because there's no pushback, there's no questions. It's almost like a little subservient thing. And they were really, that was a lot of their conversations, where it could help people, if somebody's elderly or, has some problems. But on the other side of that is if it creates this false world, which once you leave it, is the rest of it's not real. So, but yeah, I'll definitely look up that article. If you put it in the chat, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't have it right now, but I will be more than happy. And what is true also that the person was the person was addicted to ChatGPT, and she went from half an hour to 1 hour to 23 hours per 24 hours. So it was a major drawback as some type of addiction also related to this case. So again, it's very interesting to look at some of the negative aspect, as well as you mentioned, into the how human respond to it.
Yes, sir. It was very interesting. I was very surprised at the results.
Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in? So I think this was mainly about the technology, but if we will have time and other people agree, maybe we'll have one session related to just the AI. That was my original plan was, but decided to look at the different technology. But I will be happy to discuss both from the industry as well as educations and relation to how we need to deal with this new technology and AI.
Sir, I would love to see a session on the use of AI and health informatics, how AI is influencing healthcare, if that might be something to consider.
Sure. I will. I am more from. I do AI in different technology. I didn't do that much in AI in healthcare, but I will be more than happy to do research and give such a lectures. I did some research on all the development of AI in different universities and the state of Florida. I spent some times, but I will be more than happy to do some research in this area and look at the applications and how AI can help.
Thank you.
No
That would
problem.
be great.
Yeah. But also, I need to provide some technical background on how that can basically we can approach the issues. Anybody else that would like to have some input? I guess we are at 7 o'clock. So if there is any other question, I will be more than happy to entertain. Otherwise, I guess the session is over, and I will be more than happy to send the link as far as the New York Times is concerned sometimes by tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for
Thank
everything.
you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and it was a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting the RSC.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate
Have a
it.
great
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Bye.